Hello and welcome back to the Film Posers YouTube channel. I'm Ileana Melendez, honorary film poser here on the podcast, and today we're going to be conversing with Gil Perez-Abraham, one of the actors from the upcoming Warner Brothers DC Comics film blockbuster feature, The Batman. We talked about Latino representation in front of and behind the camera. We also talked about his character and how he played a key role in the film. No spoilers, obviously. And what else did we talk? We had a really lovely chat, and I hope that you guys enjoy. Let's just get into it. Hi, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I'm Ileana Melendez, an honorary film posers here on the Film Posers podcast. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. I saw that, mostly your earlier career is based on like television and other smaller feature films, but your background is in theater. Do you think your theatrical experience helped you when you were on set for like such a big major blockbuster?
Absolutely. We did the first day that I shot, I think I did close to, it had to have been over 22, 23 takes for that first scene that I'm in. And that was just for the first piece of coverage. You know what I mean? That was just for the general piece of coverage. And
Wow.
I don't know, it's like you learn in the theater that maybe by the last performance, you're doing the best job you ever did. So it's like, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bring it on. Let's do 23 more.
So you felt like it was a little bit easier to work with in terms of like acting.
I heard a lot of I heard a lot of chatter around, and I would read rumors. It's weird when you're in a movie and you read people send you rumors about it while you're in it, and it's like,
Yeah.
I would see rumors that that there was too many takes, that there was too much of this, or
Mm-hmm.
that there was a background leak or something on Reddit. And I've actually felt quite the opposite. I felt like it was very liberating knowing that the director was going to edit around all of these different takes, because as an actor, at least for me, I'm assuming I probably need more and more and more and more, because the more that I'm doing it, the more I'm getting into the reality of it and letting it go.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, and like the rumors even went as far as speculating what character you were going to play. So that was really fun and interesting to see and view, because people really they went ham with comic book characters and speculating.
It's funny because I love how like one person will say this is how Batman found his Robin, and then the next guy will go next guy goes like he looks weak, looks like he's gonna say one line and get killed. Like you're like,
Oh.
okay, like the back-to-back commentary is hilarious. It's like people were really going to war, like kind of trying to decide what character. And I honestly, it's like
Hmm.
I got a lot of different messages on different mediums of people asking me like, yo, like I'll pay you if you tell me your character, like, yo, I'll do this. Um, I promise you I won't tell
Hmm.
anybody. I just need to know for myself. Please tell me. Like
Hmm.
it's
Yeah, but the
definitely
curiosity does get intense.
the rumor mill is interesting. It's definitely very interesting.
Awesome. And speaking of your character, obviously no spoilers, but did you expect when you were cast in this role to have like such a kind of key role in the story?
I got to read I did most of my scenes as the initial audition. So I knew from the beginning. And the thing is that I was in a play. I was gonna be, speaking of theater, I was going to be doing Martina Mayok's play Sanctuary City at the New York Theater Workshop in New York. I was gonna be premiering that. And that was like already
Right.
something that I was in preparation for. So like I don't know, the movement on all that was so quick. You know what I'm saying? There was no choice.
Okay, and your character helps, and obviously no spoilers, but you do kind of help give the audience some perspective on what it is to be like a vigilante. And, when it comes to Batman, your character kind of questions that and confronts Batman as a character. What is it like playing with that apprehension, especially with like such an iconic like superhero?
It's like I when I went into it, I convinced myself so much that I really like to commit as hard as I can. And like when I went into it, I convinced myself that that I hated Batman, and I had 10 different reasons. I had pictures. I had like all I like Venn diagrams of like Batman is evil and this is why. So it's like I convinced myself that I loathe them, but then it's like because the way our brains work as humans, it's like I'm looking at Robert too, and at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, I'm like this guy's a freaking icon, and like this Batman, you know what I mean? This Batman suit's crazy, but it's like the other
Yeah.
side of me is like, but you hate him, so move forward with that.
Right.
It's very interesting working with that, especially the opinion changes throughout the movie. And so
Mm-hmm.
I would then have to go in and like the work I was like kind of convincing my mind to think, I would have to go in and kind of like try to convince it something different. Like, oh, well, he's not so bad because of this and this and this and this and this and this. And it's like by the
Mm-hmm.
time we get to the end, and I'm really kind of watching him out the corner of my eye, it's like that was closer to like probably how I felt as a human, right? Like part of me was like, oh, wow, I'm in the room with the Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You had to reason with Batman yourself as you did with your character, I assume.
Exactly. And that was one of the things, like to kind of harken back to the last question, was that like that was sort of like the gravity of the arc didn't really like I tried to spend every day forgetting about it so that like because I didn't want to lose that blue collar quality. It's like I didn't want to lose the idea
Mm-hmm.
that like it surprises me as much as it surprises him. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like to
Right.
hang on to that over and over again. Like once it was finally over and I was able to see that, that's when I was like, wow, that's a big step for me. And that's a big step for Latinos too.
Absolutely. Yeah, because, Latina representation right now, it is like moving forward, but it's still at a very slow pace.
Not as fast as we would
So
like.
this is it was yeah, exactly. It's definitely moving faster, but not as fast as it probably should. So I do hope that this is like a really good positive step forward into seeing more Latinas in not only big blockbusters, but like in the superhero genre, because we still see a big lack of that on both sides of the comic book spectrum. Which I'm gonna wrap it up here. Do you see yourself pursuing more roles in the realm of superheroes and blockbusters, or do you have other ideas for your career path?
And my perfect dream, and I was just talking to my brother about this at like my perfect dream is I want to take Officer Martinez somewhere. I don't know where, but I want to go if they want, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you probably feel the same way I do. Like we don't know where Officer Martinez is
Yeah.
going after this, but I would love
Mm-hmm.
to work with Matt and Dylan and the team on however far they wanted to take that, if further at all. And I'd love to use that. I'm finding out now that maybe these projects help you have more visibility. And I think that we're
Mm-hmm.
sorely lacking stories about American Latinos, written by American Latinos, directed by American Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like super interested in committing on getting us in front of the camera, getting us behind the camera, and using whatever visibility, using whatever like to bring visibility to some of these rising writers. Like there are a lot of young rising Latin writers, and I want to help in whatever way I can, not just bring visibility to our people through working as hard as I can in
Mm-hmm.
situations like with Matt, but bring visibility to with the work I can do behind the camera, and see if maybe in the
Absolutely.
future it's like, you look at people like Brad Pitt and Plan B, you look at Donald Glover and his company, like people are out there doing it and setting the example. And I actually think even Isa Gonzalez just started a producing company as well. So
Right.
very much watching these trendsetters, very much wanting to be a part of that conversation, and very much wanting to bring a couple seats to the table for all of the young, all the young Gils and Ileanas that are growing up around in the
Right.
U.S. that are looking at what their future is in their country, because there's definitely spots for us here, and we put our boots on the ground and work hard. Like we want it to happen faster, but it's like we got to get behind the table.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for helping break through this industry and continuing to make strides for Latinos in the industry in front of and behind the camera. And congratulations on your role for this movie. Honestly, that's
Thank you.
it's huge, and I'm really excited to see it again.
Thanks, Liliana.
So
I'm
thank you so
excited
much
to
for
see it
sitting
too.
down with us.